Good morning, everybody. Darren Yankee, Echo Farms. Today we're going to take out a paddock division, poly wire we had ran out to keep the cattle in the paddock here. So first off, we have what we call a rope cleat on the end of the wire with a hook on it. We make these up ourselves. We just unwind the wire. Again, it goes a lot faster if I had two hands going off the end, so there's nothing on the end of that wire. So we can go roll that up. So then we drive our Ranger alongside the fence. Pull out the post as we go. Now this is a shorter stretch of fence. We could easily do this by hand, by just walking it and rolling the wire up with a 3-to-1 reel, which a lot of folks use. But today I'm going to show you how we use our drill, a cordless drill, to roll up our poly wire. Like this morning, the grass is really wet. We had about 100th of rain overnight, so not a whole lot of rain, but just enough to really dampen this grass up, along with the morning dew. So if I wasn't sitting in the Ranger right now, driving alongside the fence, picking up these posts, I'd be getting awfully wet. So yeah, just take off the wire out of the post, pull the post out of the ground, throw it on my lap for now. Couple more to go and we'll be to the end, and I'll show you how we roll up our wire. I already had this end all undone last night when I moved the cattle to the new paddock. But most of the time that wire would go over to the next wire and hook it up to the perimeter fence. So we keep the wire spools in 5-gallon pails to keep them insulated off the ground so it doesn't short out when it's on the ground. Obviously the pails got to be laying flat ways so they don't collect rainwater or as much rainwater. So it's an extra step than having just a 3-to-1 reel. But when you're on longer stretches that are over 400 feet, it is sure nice just to use this drill and wind up the wire. As you can see, our attachment on the Ranger here to wind the wire up. We just got a flip pin here on the outside we got to put in. Hold that wire on there. Our rack's getting pretty full on the Ranger, holding all of our posts on over here, so I just threw them in the box for right now. Let me see if I can get it set up here so you can see me roll the wire up. Yeah, you take your cordless drill, put it on just like so. You always got to make sure you have a glove on when you're doing this, so because I want to guide the wire into the spool, but I got to have a glove on because you can have sharp edges on there. Another thing we make sure we do is we're always rolling the spool up with the wire on the bottom going into the spool here underneath, and then when we're unrolling it, we unroll it off the bottom as well. Otherwise you get some loose stuff flopping up here and it can make a mess. So it kind of goes slow so you can kind of see what's going on, but it does not take long to roll up a lot of wire. I think I timed it. It takes about 1 minute and 10 seconds to roll up 1,300 feet of a poly wire. It's pretty efficient. And you can still do this with just one person. You don't need 2 people. And just like that, we have it all wound up. I take the tail of the wire, tuck it through one of the holes on the side, and tie it off. Pop the spool off, put it over on the spool holder, take my 5-gallon pail, put it over the top of the spool. So there, now it's in storage on the Ranger rack. I gotta take the drill off between stops. That could fall off potentially and lose it in the field. But real simple design. I say it works great for longer stretches. Like today I'm rolling up 5 wires, and that was my shortest one I rolled up. Because we had fenced off a creek right in front of us. So the cattle didn't have access to it this time around. Next time around, when they come through the next rotation, we'll probably leave them have some access to the creek. There is no water in it currently. It's been kind of a dry spring. But the cows are calving right now, and we just wanted to create less erosion along the creek bank. So we thought, well, this time around we'd fence it off, and maybe next time paddock through the creek a little bit. But you can see I got the cattle over in about a half-acre paddock at the biggest. It's a pretty narrow, long paddock. You see the cattle are about spread out in most of the paddock right now, so that's about all the bigger the paddock is. Pretty small. You see the tall grass they came out of even in front of the cattle here, between me and the cattle. Quite a bit of tall grass in here yet, but we have a lot of pasture to get through for this first rotation. And want to keep ahead of the maturing grass. This is our beef cow and calf herd. They're actually right now in some pretty nice clover alfalfa patch. Should have the finishing group in there, but it's all about coordinating and keeping the cattle where there's feed for them, and we don't want to move the feeder cattle in here just for a week and move them back out again. So this will work. The cows don't need the extra protein and stuff like that, but they'll do fine on it. Well, folks, Darren Yankee signing off. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and like.